Meet Jessica. Like many Australians, meat is a staple in her diet.
I eat meat maybe twice a day.
But according to a new study, that steak dinner will soon contain even higher levels of antibiotics. The study suggests that by 2030, levels will increase by 67%. So how will this affect us? Dr. Nick Coleman says the risks are clear.
People call it an antibiotic resistance crisis, and they're not exaggerating. It really is a huge, huge problem, and getting worse.
The epidemic is driven by our own food cycle.
Whenever we eat meat from an animal, you're exposed to the bacteria and the other microbes that are associated with that animal. The other issue is it's a sort of subtle problem. It's not like these antibiotic-resistant bacteria are going to leap out of the animals and kill us immediately. It's quite a difficult chain of causation to track along.
Spreading the message has also been quite difficult.
The problem is the scientific community is at odds with, the business community. Is really what it comes down to.
And this is where money comes into play. Peter Sell works with the Poultry Research Foundation and says it's meat producers who will pay the ultimate price.
It is going to cost pig and poultry production a lot of money to do with our antibiotic growth promotants. Inevitably, the cost of production would go up.
But prices of meat are already quite high, especially in the city.
Prices in Sydney are extremely expensive compared to, I'm originally from Newcastle, and prices in Newcastle are extremely cheap compared to those in Sydney.
And if you want antibiotic-free, it's going to cost you. At Coles, your standard chicken breast is about $9 per kilogram, while free range can be up to $22 per kilogram. But if the cost of meat is too high, Judy Freelander has a solution. She works with Meat Free Week, an annual campaign that started in 2013 and ran this year from March 23rd to the 29th.
You can't ultimately ignore the fact that there are impacts. So the key message of Meat Free Week has been about the virtues of eating plant-based meals and how fantastic it is and how delicious and how people are engaging with this more and more.
But even cutting out meat to save funds won't keep you in the clear.
Even if you're a vegetarian and you're only eating, vegetables, you can still get exposed to animal pathogens like E. coli because the water that's used to irrigate the crops has animal manures in it and other animal kind of products. And the only way to slow down this spread of resistance is to use antibiotics less.
And though he may not agree, Peter says this may be the case in the future.
I think for sure and certain, one day in Australia, it's going to stop.
So it seems this debate ultimately comes down to health versus cost. For Shoestring Magazine, I'm Ariana Ongaro.